Alright guys, it is our third full week of school, so my third full week using the secret stories. I'm just going to fill you in on how we used them. Today is Tuesday, so I'm going to fill you in on yesterday and today, but honestly it's been so cool seeing how often these are coming up and how my kids are starting to recognize them. So I'm really going to focus on one area today because this was our whole group activity. Yesterday they did come up in a lot of reading, like the word bounces. We had the OU and then the CE story, which helped a kid decode that word. That's one that I remember clearly. But today, this was our word study part because they just wanted them to memorize these words. But you can decode them, especially if you have the stories. So we went through all the words that were in the game. We found the stories that some we knew, had to introduce a couple, not very many. And there were a couple heart words that we did have to introduce, so I also had to introduce heart words. So let me show you that. All right, so this game was supposed to just kind of have them using onsets and rhymes to be able to figure out what a word is. Like, I don't get how that would work, especially when you're rolling a dice and you're only reading not all the words. So instead what we did is I put these all on a slideshow and we went through and we looked at each of them and found what stories we saw. So like for wrote, there's a story for WR. For erst, we had the in there. Two vowels go for a walk. For though and through, so I did have to introduce those, but like those, that's not, like you can decode that. A lot of these you could. There were some other ones that we found. Friend was like that part, they recognized that word, but still talked about how it is a heart word. We had the OR and corn. We had AW and draw, EW and drew, KN and new, GH and ghost. Yeah, AL and stalls, the cheese. So we had a ton of stories in here, which was really cool just because they got to actually, like I said, they've just been seeing them in action and things that we're doing. So instead of having to memorize these words or just kind of say that these are sight words that you need to memorize, we were able to sound almost all of them out. For those, then I did introduce heart words and just said that there are some words that will not follow the rules. So a good example I just thought would be should. That wasn't in our game, but I used that one. Friend was in our game, so I just taught them how to listen for the sounds you hear and then putting a heart over that tricky part. And then through was in there, and I should add. And then we talked about how tough does, but we decided that the GH isn't going to be a heart part for us because we have the story, so we understand why that's a P. The GH makes the F sound at the end of that word, so that was the only part that didn't make sense to us. So now I've almost told every single story, which is awesome. We have a couple left, but I'm sure they'll kind of come up soon. So I'll check in with you again tomorrow. I know that was quick, but just want to go for the whole class part that we kind of used them for. So see you tomorrow. Hey guys, it is Wednesday, homecoming week. We call it the parade of school, so all the high schoolers and the homecoming royalty and all that stuff was at our school this morning for like a pep fest. So today was not a normal day in any sense. So we didn't do a lot with the stories, or just our kind of morning just got messed up because of that in general. But I did want to hop on to say this because this I thought was really cool. We were doing science this afternoon and we were taking some notes, and for the sun we were writing down it's the brightest star in our solar system for us to see. And one of my kids raised his hand and said, hey, the GH story's in there. They're not, the G and H aren't saying anything because of the middle of the word. And I thought that was cool that they noticed that. So that's all I got though. But like I said, just really pumped that they're noticing the stories and words in everything that we're doing. So hopefully we can do some more tomorrow.